Imagine this. America are there. They're giving you money. You're not really even in a war. You're sitting around with a gun. Taliban are just chilling. It's pretty easy, right? America leave. Taliban start mobilizing up. You're standing there next to a girls' school with your AK. You're going to look at the girls' school and go, fuck it. And you're going to quit. Why are you going to fight for that girls' school? Now, feminism's so real. Why don't the girls fight for their school? Oh, it turns out that when there aren't men prepared to die for feminism, it all goes away. When aren't men prepared to defend the feministic ideal, then feminism's not even a real thing. You need men who are prepared to die for this garbage. So when a feminist goes, what do we need men for? For feminism. Because when the women had to defend their own school, guess what happened? It closed down.
What's up, everyone? It's Talks with Kenny here. Today we're reacting to a video with Andrew Tate and Zuby. They'll be talking about what feminists don't understand. Let's get into the video.
I say this to feminists all the time. My biggest argument against feminism, and I get a lot of them, I say, listen, I have no problem with women being equal under the law. In fact, you already are. I'd argue you have benefits under the law. If you look at divorce law or custody law, I can't think of a single law where a man has an advantage over a woman. Not one. I can think of one. What is it?
Men can be bare-chested in public.
I stand corrected.
That's nothing significant, bro. And that's more of a social norm than a law. But I guess you can say that because, okay. I agree now. Okay. It makes sense. I get it now. Because if there's nudity laws, and if a man walks bare-chested, it's not considered nudity. But if a woman did, because it's sexual by nature, hey, that's biology, guys. Don't fight me. And this is one thing I think feminists don't understand is the nature argument. If you go everything based on biology, a feminist would like fight you tooth and nail about biology when there's a reason why. Is a grand debate. Is it nurture that makes you or nature that makes you? To me, the truth is in the middle. Is a little bit of both, right? But feminists don't want to admit that at all. They think nothing's biological. Everything is societal. Like, oh, you've been socially engineered to do this, to believe this, to be this. When it could be like, no, your nature makes you predisposed to this. They don't want to take it. But hey, I digress. Let's continue.
Literally the only one.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. I think we can fix that one for the ladies if they want to have a go at it. But in general, I think we're already equal under the law. I don't believe in the gender pay gap. That's been debunked a billion times. But I sit there and I say to these feminists who say that we don't need men for anything. I had an argument with a feminist. She goes, "Why do we even need men?" I said, "Listen, my dear," which she hated, "my dear, you need men to defend feminism." Because we're sitting here and arguing and we're differing on opinions. And there's 4 of you women and there's here by myself and we're differing. But if this argument were to become heated and fever pitch, and let's say you were to attack me with an ashtray, right? And I were to defend myself, the only chance you 4 would stand is calling a man, a police officer, to come and protect you. You need men to stand up for your ideals. You want a feministic society, but if another country comes to destroy you, you need men to go fight in that army.
Exactly. And especially when the fact that they got the right to vote without having the condition of signing up for the draft. That this scenario you pointed out is even more pronounced. That you, end of the day, you act like you don't need men, but men are the very thing that keeps you allowing to think this way, to behave this way, to think like you don't need us. Imagine how good a society is that you even thinking about, oh, I don't need the other race. I don't need the other sex. Imagine that. There's a reason why it takes 2 to make a baby, right? But just say, oh, I don't need them at all. It's arrogance. And what happened when they say the pride goeth before the fall, right? That's feminism. Feminism, like, we don't need no man. We don't need no man. And then they realize, oh, snap. We're at a heavy disadvantage. Go look at sports. 15-year-old boys destroying the women's soccer team. Champions in their own right. Getting destroyed by 15-year-old boys. And you think and women don't need men. Oh, okay. Look at all the crime statistics. Heavily disproportionate. People who commit crime, criminals that commit crime, come from single mother households, but you don't need men. Oh, okay. The fathers are the one that teach boys how to control their aggression. You ain't gonna learn that from the woman. I'm just saying. But I digress. Let's continue.
If there's going to be crime in your feministic society, you need men to turn up and deal with it. Your only reason feminism survives is because men will allow you to have your idea and defend your idea for you. When the Taliban took back Afghanistan, the reason that the local people that the USA had trained, the Afghani Defense Force, the reason the ADF gave up so quickly is because they looked around the ideals they were defending and realized this is bullshit. Imagine this. America are there. They're giving you money. You're not really even in a war. You're sitting around with a gun. Taliban are just chilling. It's pretty easy, right? America leave. Taliban start mobilizing up. You're standing there next to a girls' school with your AK. You're going to look at the girls' school and go, fuck it. And you're going to quit. Why are you going to fight for that girls' school? Now, if feminism's so real, why don't the girls fight for their...
Exactly. And that's my main point I like to point out, is I always like to call the feminists into action. Oh, okay. If you're so mad about the pay disparity between the WNBA and the NBA, why doesn't women in a large proportion, because women got a lot of spending power, women are responsible for 85% of spending done in the U.S. alone. 85%. So why they don't bring some of that spending power and spend it on the WNBA? The only conclusion I can come to is women are not interested in women's sport, because as a basketball product, the NBA is a better product than the WNBA purely on basketball. That's it. The skill, what can the WNBA do that the NBA can't do? Stephen Curry is the best shooter. Name me the best shooter in the WNBA. I'll wait. You don't even know. Look at the athleticism that the men play. Look how it's much faster, much more entertaining, much more fast paced. The women's game is like college basketball. Women's college basketball is more entertaining to watch than the professional. I'm just saying. But they want to blame, oh, it's gender, oh, no one respects WNBA's game. No, it's just you're not a better product. And when Shaq offered his advice I remember it was an interview, I always remember it. He said, hey, how come y'all guys just don't lower the rim? Y'all play with a smaller basketball anyway. Why not just lower the rim so y'all could start dunking and stuff to make the game more entertaining? The WNBA player in the interview got offended that he did that, and she started catching an attitude with Shaq when Shaq was coming from a good place trying to give actual advice to help them, and they don't want to take it. If you think you know everything, you won't learn anything. But yeah, I digress.
Their school. Oh, it turns out that when there aren't men prepared to die for feminism, it all goes away. When aren't men prepared to defend the feministic ideal, then feminism's not even a real thing. You need men who are prepared to die for this garbage. So when a feminist goes, what do we need men for? For feminism. Because when the women had to defend their own school, guess what happened? It closed down. It's not even a real concept. Men are always going to be the physical bottom line of society. Violence is always going to be the unfortunate underpinning of civilized society, and men are simply more capable of violence. So any idea you hold, any idea you want in your mind, understand that any idea, any law, and all of these things are underpinned by violence. You're only allowed to have the idea because society has said so. If they say you're not allowed it and you continue to have it, sooner or later they'll become violent against you like they have against me. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. So when feminists sit there and say we don't need men, they're just so brutally ignorant to the fact that, yes, you do. You wouldn't be able to function or have an opinion differing to a man in society if there weren't men prepared to defend you. So absolute and utter bullshit.
This is the thing. The concept of privilege has been bastardized a lot over the last few years, but you truly have to be in an incredibly privileged position to even ask that question as to why is one of the sexes even necessary.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. If you go to a third world country, you ask those women, do you need your men? They'll say, yes, I need my men. Because they realize, like when times are hard, you realize, oh my God, this is what men are made for. When hard times come, during good times, men are mainly used to maintain. Men work to maintain order. And right now we're in the maintain order, good times, and we're creating weak men because weak men are like, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. How likely a war is going to happen? We didn't think Russia was going to invade Ukraine, but it happened. Expect the unexpected. And if you have that mindset, you realize, oh, men are useful. Oh, women are useful. But for one gender to be like, oh, we don't need the other gender, to completely disregard them, okay. If you are a society where one society says, hey, we disregard an entire gender versus a society that both cherish and understand the value that both gender make and bring, who do you think will be a better society in the long term? The gender that recognize reality and say, hey, there's a reason why men are here. There's a reason why women are here. We respect what they bring to the table. We respect the value that they bring, and we cherish them. If a person feels valued, they'll be, oh, let's work. They'll work above and beyond to help protect that society. But you get feminists here challenging men, kids don't need fathers. And then you see all the negative statistics that come from fatherless households. Yo, the society's set up to destroy itself at that point. Because you're going against reality. But hey, I digress. You know, people want to live in la la land. If you want to believe everything is a social construct, go ahead. Believe that. But they don't get mad at me when I'm referencing biology. When I notice the reality of the situation, I say, hey, There's a reason why this is here. There's a purpose to it. But if you believe there's no purpose in life, you're more likely to fall in line with these ideas of, oh, a gender is optional. When for life to begin, gender is required. You don't guess your gender. You don't become your gender. You are your gender. Because gender, before 5 minutes ago, used to be just an extension of your sex. Adult, human, blah. Adult, human, blah. That's what gender used to be. Now it's like whatever you want it to be. But I digress. I'm rambling too long. Let's get back into the video.
But it goes for either one, right? You're living in unicornia. If you can't even think in your brain, and you've been living there for a long time, if you can't even perceive in your brain as to, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I feel this way, but yeah, actually, if I think, yeah, okay, yeah, men are necessary. Oh yeah, actually, women are. Yeah, we need both.
And that's the thing. And I'll sit here and say, as the number one most hated fucking misogynist on the internet, because they say I'm something I'm not. I always say women are beautiful. Women should be protected. You should protect and provide for your woman. We need women. Relationships are beautiful. Families beautiful. I never sit here and say, sorry. I never sit here and say that women are not necessary. Whereas the other side are saying the complete opposite, saying that men should be euthanized.
Men never say that they don't need a woman. I never hear the man say that. Unless they're making a point or like they're making an argument about something. But I never hear men out of their mouth saying, oh, we don't need women. Men never say that. But you always hear women out of their mouth saying they don't need men. And that's ridiculous. Men can admit to you, oh yeah, I do this because it helps me with the girls. Men are not ashamed of saying, hey, yeah, I do things to attract women. But you always find it, especially on the internet, women are ashamed to say that they do something to attract the opposite sex. And feminism calls that. Feminism has been conditioning modern women to view men as a rival, as an enemy, as a competitor, right? And then this is one reason why women don't make as much money as men is because men are more competitive. This is why they try to condition men not to be as competitive, because they know women can't compete with men's competitiveness. And if you want to sit here and try to make frivolous arguments with me, look at the statistics. Men work longer hours than women. Men take less vacation time than women. There's no way women will beat men if you put them to compete with each other. Women will not win in any endeavor. Look at chess. No strength involved at all. Women stand no chance. But I digress. Like, I have empirical evidence. I observe reality. I don't perceive reality. This is not how, this is how I feel like things are. No, I observe. I see this. And I see it happen so many times. I feel comfortable saying this is the reality. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
And they're all over social media.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. On my last emergency meeting, because I'm on Rumble now, for anyone who's asking where I am, YouTube deleted me. I've moved to rumble.com. Rumble.com/takespeech. I did an emergency meeting there, and there was a story about 5 women who made up a story that they were sexually assaulted at a party by a guy purely because they didn't like him. And they kept the story up the entire summer. The guy was kicked out of school, was arrested, had to pay a bail before eventually, when the pressure got up, all 5 of them admitted that they literally completely made it up because they didn't like him. He lost his school, lost his job, he was suicidal, spent 2 months in jail, etc. Guess what? All 5 of them are still on Instagram.
Wow.
I'm not. What did I say? I literally said, the reason I am now a misogynist is because I literally said that I believe men.
This is why I believe all women is a farce, is a grift. Like, nah. Innocent until proven guilty because of stuff like this. I'd rather, 10 guilty people go free than 1 innocent man suffer in jail? Look what happened. Nah, I'll take that trade-off. Hey, innocent until proven guilty. I take the trade-off. I don't care all your emotional manipulation. It ain't gonna work on me, bro. Logically, that is not right. That you can just lie on a man and you take no repercussions for that. But feminists want to sit here and complain about male privilege. Oh, that's some male privilege I got. 5 women can make up a story and all of society will believe me and I'll get destroyed socially. And then they come back, oh no, I lied about it. And no one turned their ire and their anger at them. They just like, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, this man lost his life. Yo, the time wasted. And no one's going to come back and say, oh, I'm sorry for saying that to you, bro. No one's going to do that. There's no redemption. There's no, where's the repentance for that? It's crazy. And then women wonder why men are like starting to distance themselves from women. There's a study that came out that men are statistically starting to be disinterested in becoming fathers. I forgot where the study is, but there's a study out there. If you look it up, men are becoming disinterested in becoming fathers. And I wonder why. Feminism is playing a lot of part into this. Divide and conquer, man hating woman, black hating white. Bruh. End of the day, we all human here. We all on the same team. It seems like we all fighting to see, oh, I want to be the leading scorer. No, I want to be the leading scorer. This is what is going on in a human sense. But yeah, I digress. Let's continue.
Men are better at parking cars than women. Because the number of times I've been with a woman trying to park a car, and she's like, please do it for me. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And I do it for her because I'm a fucking gentleman. That's why I'm misogynistic. It's great. Or saying that I should defend a woman because I'm physically stronger. That's why I'm misogynistic. It is insane. Yeah. It is clown world. And the women who stand up and try and argue against me, they're feeble attempts at exceptions trying to disprove the rule or some garbage. Listen, there's nothing wrong with accepting that men and women are different. Yeah. We have different skills, different strengths. Women are better at some things than men. Absolutely or not. I completely believe that. There are some things I will only trust a woman with and I will not trust a man with. Yeah. I say this all the time. They ignore all of that. They ignore it and to find the one time I said about parking and they won't shut up about it. It's truly incredible. And this all goes down to the slave mind and people not wanting to understand and accept the reality of situations.
Yeah, everyone wants to live in La La Land. They want reality to fit into their worldview. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.